wrote down some notes here in my journal, just quick and dirty, 5 simple steps to build your brand. And I think you can implement these in 2023 very simply. So I'm going to walk you through them. Here we go. First one is know your story, right? So I think that everybody has a story and how they got into this business, how they see the business. To me, when you're building a personal brand, you're doing this to help grow your property management company. You must know your story. And I read a great book called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. It's a fantastic book for marketers, but really you probably should look at your business through that lens. You are an expert. I tell our story, Matthew tells his story, our story all of the time. And this is just what we have to do. And so in the book Expert Secrets, he talks about telling your story about how you learned it or earned it, right? So is it something that you went through? So we talk a lot about 2008. That's when Evernest started, was in 2008 when Matthew had a bunch of rentals and I had a bunch of rentals and the market just destroyed us. And so he went and started Evernest. I went and started a nonprofit and then later joined the company in 2014. But know your story and be prepared to tell your story. Attach your story to the property management business. And really, honestly, if you don't think it sounds too exciting, it probably does, especially with people who are interested in using your services. So know your story. Next thing is know your audience. This is a big one. This is the very first thing I did when I joined Evernest was ask the question, who is our audience? Everybody knew who it was, but we hadn't written it down. So we took some time and went through an exercise over the course of several weeks and really defined who it was that we were trying to reach. And we identified 2 different avatars for our single family property management business. And then as we continued to grow, we started to develop avatars for property management companies that we wanted to acquire. And then we also started looking when we were going into multifamily. It's a little bit different than our single family. And then even as we stretch into HOA. So know your audience, be clear who you're speaking to, because you're gonna want your content to really speak to that person, either their pains or what they hope to gain. Now, I will tell you that more people will act out of pain than they will out of a desire for something or gain, but just look at it that way. Next, third one is commit to putting yourself out there. Okay. When I'm doing new team member training here in our corporate office, I put up a slide of Matthew back in 2012 or something like that when he was recording some videos. And it's hilarious. It gets a lot of laughs because he's wearing this huge oversized shirt and he's got bangs, he's got big poofy hair, and it's just really funny. I love to make fun of him and have everybody laugh at what he looked like back then, but I'm really complimenting him. And that's really because he committed to putting himself out there. Like, he did not care if people made fun of him. He didn't care what people thought. He made very simple videos. He was doing it every single week, and they weren't anything fantastic. They weren't anything great. He was a completely different person back 10 years ago, but I got to hand it to him. He committed to putting himself out there. So you're going to have to do that as well. If you want to build a brand on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case is, wherever you want to build your brand, you're going to have to commit to put yourself out there. I would most definitely say or encourage you to focus on your website. And I know that you may have a blog or whatever. Commit to recording videos, commit to writing, commit to excellence in content, because it will take you very far if you keep at it. The next thing is ignore what people say or think. You have to get over that. Like, it's just like, I'm sitting here recording this. If anybody's watching this, you may think this is horrible or whatever the case is. I don't really care. I'm just going to continue to record content because I know that our message, the story we want to tell, we have to get out there in front of a lot of people. And so to do that, somebody has to record content and somebody has to essentially ignore what other people think. So, the truth is, if you're worried about what other people think, there's probably not a lot of people thinking about you. There's probably not a lot of people who are laughing behind your back. Those are typical stories that we tell ourselves, and those stories are 99% of the time not true. They're just things we make up that keep us from taking action. At first, when you commit to content, it's not going to be great. When you commit to building a brand, it's not going to be great. It's called reps. You have to put in reps. It's all about endurance and expansion, right? So endurance is taking you along that line. Expansion is growing you, pushing you, and developing you. So you're going to start off and it's not going to be that good, but give yourself time. Give yourself through the end of 2023. Look at what you're doing at the beginning of 2023 and then in December of 2023 and see if it doesn't change, because I promise you it will. All right, so the last one is really simple. So now that you know your story, you know your audience, you're committing to put yourself out there, and you're ignoring what other people think, the last thing is be consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent. Commit to consistency. Continue. Don't stop. Keep doing it. This is going, when we're talking about attracting doors, attracting investors are going to look for people who are active in the market. And the truth is, you're an expert in your market. You're an expert. And so I just encourage you to just be consistent and don't stop. Like I mentioned, January 2023, we hope December 2023, what you're doing, first of all, you're still going, you're still doing it. And then secondly, that it's improved, you've gotten better. Maybe you go find an editor to edit all your content. I'm excited because we have a new team member, Noel Christopher, who joined us, and this guy loves content. And so I'm excited about helping him get his content out there in front of people to help us build our brand, to build his personal brand. And that is the thing. I do want to say this last thing and then I'll be done. Encourage your people, if your people are watching this or listening to this, encourage your people to build their personal brand, because it's only going to help the business. And it's going to help them. Like at the end of the day, I want our team members to build their personal brand so that they can succeed and excel in their positions. They can succeed and excel in their careers. Like, it's not going to always be with Evernest. We hope they stay with us for a long time, especially if they're A players, but at the end of the day, we want them to be successful a long time past Evernest in whatever they're doing, and building their personal brand, learning how to communicate, learning how to present themselves, learning their story. All of these things is only going to help. All right, everybody. Look forward to spending a lot of time working on this newsletter. We're going to provide a lot of great content over the course of 2023. So I'm excited about that. We've got a lot in store for you. Talk to you soon.